All right. Hello, everybody who's tuning in. We're really happy to have you. Today, I have myself, I run marketing at Cake, and then we have Vic, who's our CEO, and we're really happy to welcome the guys from dEURO. If you guys want to say some things about yourselves.
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm Josh. I'm the head of growth from dEURO, and I'm very happy to be here. And of course, regarding the giveaway, I think a lot of you are interested in how to be part of it. Please comment your questions on YouTube or on X below the stream, below the X, the space, and then we'll look into the comments and answer all your questions at the end of the AMA and obviously raffle it at the end too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm also part of the dEURO Association. Super happy to be on this stream with you guys today with Henry, Wick. It's a pleasure to have us, and very looking forward to talk about this dEURO thing, so this decentralized Euro Silicon.
Yeah, as Henry already introduced me, I'm Vic Sharma. I'm the founder of Cake Wallet. And I love giveaways, as everybody knows. We do a lot of giveaways from personally as well as from Cake Wallet. So Ollie and Joshua, I guess one of the requirements for this giveaway is that you have to download Cake Wallet, right?
Oh, we're already using it and staking dEURO in it.
I mean the winner, right? To participate,
obviously,
you gotta
this is
download
only
Cake Wallet.
possible to receive the earnings or the earnings of the giveaway in your Cake Wallet.
Exactly. All right. Go ahead, Henry.
I'm actually the CEO of Cake Wallet. Vic's the marketing
Yeah,
guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, switching roles today. That's okay.
Yep. Exactly.
So maybe should I jump in and just give you a quick heads up what this dEURO thing is all about?
Yeah, that'd be great. And also, I'd love to hear kind of the story behind, because I know Vic and you guys have been talking for a while, so I'd love to hear about dEURO and also that story. I haven't heard the story myself yet either.
Okay, maybe we start with that point before coming to dEURO. So there is a crypto broker in Switzerland which is called DFX Swiss, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you already saw DFX Swiss within the Cake Wallet. So it is a super easy on and off ramp for cryptocurrencies, also for Monero. That's when we first integrated DFX into Cake Wallet already, I think 2 years back. And we already have a good collaboration and connection and with the Cake team. And then we, as the DFX team, kind of set up this new dEURO stablecoin. I will come to later why we set it up, but it's set up completely autonomous and decentralized via smart contracts. And this is where the connection between the DFX/dEURO association team started. And yeah, just in March this year, we started with the first real decentralized Euro stablecoin. So the dEURO protocol is a decentralized and Euro-backed stablecoin issued on the Ethereum blockchain and backed by over-collateralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And here is the first very USP that comes into place. It is not limited to just Bitcoin and Ethereum. We already have more than 8 other collaterals that are backing the dEURO protocol. Also, for example, Tether Gold. And this ensures just a one-on-one pack without centralized issuers. It's completely decentralized. And that's also something that is a USP without oracles. So as you all know, oracles are great, but also are vulnerable for hacks. And with the dEURO, it's completely oracle free. The whole dEURO protocol is based on 3 pillars. The one thing is the lending, where the dEUROs are kind of issued. Then we have savings, where you can earn something with dEUROs, and then decentralized governance, which kind of is the base for this whole dEURO protocol. Should I already jump into what lending is all about? Maybe that makes sense just on a very high level. So how does it work? So you can deposit collateral into the dEURO smart contract, for example, Bitcoin or Ethereum, and mint dEUROs against it. For minting those dEUROs, you kind of pay a little, or you pay interest rates that later are used for the savings pillar. So for the savings pillars, users can deposit dEUROs into the smart contract and receive interest on those dEUROs, like you know it from banks, for example. But banks normally are around 1 or 2% APR. With dEURO, we're talking about 10% APR, and we can later, of course, explain where this yield comes from. Because with dEURO, everything is 100% decentralized and also visible on the blockchain. And then you can check yourself where this yield comes from. And then the third pillar is the decentralized governance of the dEURO protocol. It is comparable to shares you hold from a bank. So this is kind of issued with a token, which is called dEPs or NDEP, which is the native decentralized protocol shares. And with holding them, you kind of are the governance of the dEURO, and you earn from fees generated by the protocol, and you can also veto in case something should be changed, or if anybody wants to change something in the dEURO protocol, or wants to have another collateral that can be added in the lending module, that's kind of performed by the NDEPs holders, where you can kind of veto against ideas the community brings into place. So that is a very, very high level of dEURO and what dEURO is all about. And maybe we can jump now into more depth and, of course, go into the questions of the community.
I have a question. I have this question, I'm sure other people might also. Just to compare and contrast with, let's say, USDT or EURC, which is the Circle coin. I mean, those are issued by a single issuer. So how are those not decentralized and dEURO is decentralized? If you can compare it to that, might be easier to understand.
So you need to trust. So with having USDT and USDC, you need to trust the issuer, right? So it is completely hidden behind walls. What is happening? Are the assets backed? I think all of you know about the rumors when USDT started. Are those USDT backed? So it comes up every time and again and again. Now they're so big, maybe too big to fail already. But it always comes up. With the dEURO, everything is transparent on the blockchain. So you can check yourself if the assets that are backing the dEURO are in the smart contract or not. So that is the big difference between centrally issued stablecoins like USDT and the dEURO.
I mean, you mentioned the NDEPs token before, Ollie, but you didn't said the NDEPs holders already gained with the protocol fees, obviously, over 200,000 dEUROs in revenue generated by the dEURO protocol. So it's already a profitable protocol, and the NDEPs holders are obviously profiting too. And this is at this market cap, this is very unique, I would say. And this is something we are very proud of too. So yes, if you are interested in it, please go on our website and take a look. You can click on the right upper corner. There's launching the dEURO app, and then you can click through all these options you have: saving, lending, minting, also swapping. We have a swapping feature where you can swap other Euro stablecoins one by one without any fees. You only pay the gas fees. So this is very, very interesting for a lot of you, and swap them instantly into dEUROs. Very cool too. But back to the NDEPs token, to the governance token, you can see all the interest and all the profits the NDEPs holder making live on our dEURO protocol app. And yeah, this all transparent, like Ollie said. So yeah, this is the way.
Yeah. So yeah, the cool thing is you can do it via the app using whatever wallet. But the cool thing, and that's the reason why we're in this call today, is that parts of the dEURO protocol already has been integrated into the Great Cake wallet. So one thing that already is integrated and, to be honest, heavily used, what is we are super pumped off, is the saving feature. So you can put the euros into the saving feature using the front end of the Cake wallet natively integrated, deposit euros and gain a 10% interest. And what is also super important here, this is not like a fixed time where you need to post it and then you need to wait 3 months to redeem it again. It's flexible, so you can deposit and withdraw your deposited euros, and of course the interest that is paid out with every block at any given time. So there is no barriers. You can jump in and out whenever you want. That was also something that was very important for us, and also I think a key feature for the dEURO.
How often is the interest paid or added to the to your balance?
It's added with every block. So every
block. Okay.
With every block. So it sums up to the 10% APR with every block. And yeah, you can see your interest growing with every minute.
Yeah. To me, as someone who doesn't understand this stuff, it just looked like it was like an instant. Because you can just sit there and wait 30 seconds and then click the refresh button and then the balance goes up a little bit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, right. And I really want to stress that because that is not normal. It is flexible. So you really can redeem at any given time. So you do not need to wait, or you do not need to be afraid. You can redeem at any given time.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't have a compounding feature yet. So that's why I hate to say it's my idea to add that reinvest button in Cake Wallet. So, when you've built up enough, you can reinvest it and compound your interest,
Yes.
which is pretty cool. But I use I use the savings. I also use the bridge, and I'm not saying any listener should do this. I'm a DeFi degen, whatever it's called. So you can get Euro C on Aave, and hopefully they'll add dEURO soon as well. And then I use your bridge to convert from Euro C to dEURO, and then transfer it to Cake Wallet and start earning 10%.
So there are different ways to get into dEUROs. So the one is that you described, right? Then you can use the native integrated swap function in Cake Wallet, where you can exchange other cryptocurrencies into dEURO. And you can use the DFX Swiss broker that is also integrated into the Cake wallet, where you can get the euros. And here's a super interesting point: if you come with euros, you get a 1-to-1 ratio in dEUROs into Cake wallet. So there are no fees, right?
No fees.
So if you, for example, want to use your 10,000 euros from your bank account, you will receive, using the DFXY, you will receive 10,000 euros in Cake wallet and can start earning 10% on it.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot to mention there are other ways to get dEURO within Cake wallet directly from DFX, or using our swap feature, which I think Exolix is
Exolix
is the one that's supporting it. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty cool, and the fees are close to zero there as well if you're converting to dEURO.
And of course you can, sorry Henry, just to add up here, so you can also kind of go to Uniswap and exchange other cryptocurrencies into dEUROs there. So there are various possibilities where you can get into dEURO. Of course you can mint dEURO yourself. You can get your own money by depositing crypto collateral. That's also a possibility. Sorry Henry, didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no, that's all I said. I went from Monero to dEURO. Is all I said.
That's
he went from Monero to dEURO. That's why the price dropped in Monero, because he sold it.
That's the reason. You did it again.
It's okay. It's gonna get 10%, and then I'll put it back.
You'll put it back. Use the interest to rebuy the Monero.
I already saw some questions. So where does this 10%
Yes.
come from, and how is that legit, and is it sustainable or not? I think that's important to get into. So as I mentioned, we have this one pillar, which is the lending protocol, right? So you can come with the crypto collateral asset, ERC20, for example, rep Ethereum, rep Bitcoin, whatsoever. Again, stressing that point, it is not limited to the currently available assets. From the idea, you can use any liquid ERC20 token as a collateral in the dEURO protocol. There is governance process for that, where you can kind of go ask the smart contract, is it okay to use that collateral with that given factors like interest fees and collateralization rates and things like that. And then the decentralized governance can say yes and do nothing, or they can veto it. For example, if there's something like Flocky, Shiba, Pokahinto Inu, or whatsoever coin, as an NDEPS holder, you want to avoid to give out bad loans, right? And maybe that could be a bad loan that kind of harms your protocol. So that is not possible. But for example, Tether Gold is one collateral option here. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are heavily into gold right now, and they maybe do not want to sell this gold, then they can just use this gold token, deposit it into the dEURO protocol and lend euros against it and do whatever they want with them, right? So they can exchange for other cryptocurrencies. They can pay it out to the bank account and go and buy a car or whatever. It's totally free and up to the user.
What's the LTV on the lending?
It is currently, let me check. I will also post a link to a public data dashboard where you can see it yourself. So currently the total lending part is 1.8 million.
Now, if I were to borrow dEURO against my Ethereum, for example, what would be the percentage? How much can you borrow? 80%, 70%?
Yeah, it also depends on the asset. So it also depends on the asset. For example, if you deposit Bitcoin, or if you deposit Ethereum, it kind of depends, right, on the risk of
that asset, of the collateral,
of the asset, and how fluctuating the price is. So that a little bit depends on that.
So when you say Bitcoin, you mean the rep Bitcoin, right?
Yes, it's rep Bitcoin.
WBTC. Okay.
Yeah, rep Bitcoin, or the ERC20 token rep Bitcoin, where you can use. But we also have Coinbase Bitcoin, for example, or it would be possible. So the Coinbase rep version of it. So yeah. And so if you then deposit this collateral into the smart contract, you will receive a certain amount of euros, up to whatever settings you took, right? So the duration, the fees, and things like that. And then you always pay a base rate, which is 10%. That's a 10% base rate that flows into a pool. And then depending on the asset you use as a collateral, there is a top up. So for example, for rep Bitcoin, it's a 2% top up. So you pay 12% for taking out a loan in dEURO. And those 12% go into this big pool, this NDEPS holder pool, that then kind of finances the savings part. So if others provide liquidity for the protocol by depositing the euros, they will receive this 10% base rate, you can say, and the 2% on top is for the NDEPS holders. And that, to close the circle, is kind of what Joshua told you, that the protocol itself already generated more than 200,000 euros for the NDEPS holders just from those fees. Yeah. So that is how and where this yield comes from, just to get, again, some numbers that the community understands. How big is it, or how is the ratio between lending and saving? So we given out loans for 1.8 million euros already in the last kind of 3 months. And we have the saving part against, which is close to 800,000 euros already. So a lot of trust also in the dEURO protocol already, which is super proud, to be honest. We are super proud. And what also is super super important to know, 150,000 euros from that already flew in through Cake Wallet. So that is super cool to see. So the community kind of seems to like dEURO and get interest on Euro. And so that is the current status.
Yeah, since you or we joined the Cake Wallet, you can see in our Telegram chat every day new saving through Cake Wallet, and this is very cool to see.
Nice, good.
Yeah, just when we started the stream, it again popped up 1,100 euros through Cake Wallet. So that is super cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess before we go to the questions, I mean, that brings up, why Cake Wallet implemented this. Why did we, of all the other tools out there, why did we choose this one? And for me, number one is the team, right? We worked with you guys for a long time on DFX side, and the way you guys are doing dEURO, the way you described it in a decentralized manner, was really important for us. And Cake Wallet's goal is to make cryptocurrency easy for regular folks. Yet it's got a bunch of advanced features for advanced people as well. But this was a nice, clean, easy way to get 10% on this stablecoin. I guess I should have checked before, but I don't know. Are we working on the borrowing as well?
Yeah, I think that's so we already are chatting about it. So it's also super important for us, and I think it's also super interesting for Cake users that they can take a loan against their cryptocurrencies. I think that is a super game changer. That's not something that is new, but you also always need to kind of trust in those lending protocols. Normally, it's super complicated, to be honest, to do it. So for normies, which are not kind of like we are in a degens cryptocurrency, well, it may be too complicated, right? And also, I think it's perfectly set up and built that it can be easily usable for also everybody, right? And of course, it's super interesting when a cool wallet like Cake Wallet has it integrated with a good user flow, with a good user interface. So I'm very looking forward to that, and I think the Cake community can also and already look forward to have that integrated into Cake Wallet as well.
Is there a dUSD on the horizon?
Maybe. So from the idea, maybe that's also something that we can mention here. The dEURO is a fork from the Frankencoin, which is a Swiss franc version of the dEURO. So from the idea, I think it can make sense to have all the currencies worldwide in a decentralized manner. And yes, the dollar is also something that is very interesting
that would
not
be
just
awesome.
me, but I think for a lot of people.
Yeah, that would be huge. Yeah, I just saw what is it? USDC. It went from 20 billion issued coins to like 60 billion in just a matter of months. I mean, it tripled. It's insane. Yeah. And USDT is up to what, 130 billion or something now. But the speed of USDC from 20 to 60 was mind-boggling.
Yeah, they really profited from the rumors about USDT Ollie mentioned at the beginning, and now they are the more, I would say, US friendly stablecoin.
Yeah, but again, you need to trust, right? You need to trust into all of that. Normally, I'm
right.
I
do
just
like mentioning
to trust.
It for the growth
like to verify. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. All right. Should we go to the questions?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Maybe to scroll through. Henry, do you take over and
bring them up?
Fire the questions.
Let's start at the top.
Rebels would love feedback if you're not enjoying some of the experience with Cake Wallet and dEURO. So it's still a new feature. So if you have feedback, definitely let us know.
Yeah, it says dEURO doesn't work that well in Cake Wallet, in my opinion. I would like more details on that. How does it? Reach out to us. Let us know, because I use it daily and works fine. Using the reinvest feature often.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
super cool.
Yeah.
Dinah asks, do dEURO have back collateral to keep the token value stay good? I don't know exactly what it's asking, but
yeah, so
making sure it's backed.
Yeah, it is backed. So the euro is backed by the collateral, and the respective threshold that is generated by that, right? So, of course, maybe you could be afraid: is it possible that if you put your collateral into the euro and get the loan, can I lose my collateral? Yes, sure. If the collateral falls under a certain collateralized ratio, sure, of course, there comes an automatic kind of auction mechanism into place, which is called Dutch auction. I think it would be too technical to jump into that, but it's kind of an automatic feature that enables that the collateral is kind of auctioned to everybody who's interested into buying that, which then, of course, ensures that the system itself is sustainable. And so, yeah, it is backed by collateral, and already 4 months without depegging, so counting.
What's the risk on the savings side then? Because of course, if you're borrowing, yeah, you can have a liquidity call. But on the savings side, what's the risk you feel?
Sure. If we talk about smart contracts, there's always a certain risk, right? So when or before the dEURO protocol was issued, it was audited by very noble auditors, that it's ensured that there is no smart contract failure, some code issues or whatsoever. It was not just by anybody; it was by Chain Security, so one of the most known, recommended, audit companies out there, without any remarks, issues whatsoever. So you have the safety mechanism 1 here. Then the smart contract ensures that you can always redeem your dEUROs that you have put into the savings module. So it is not possible to not get it back from the system. Of course, so if the euro would depack from the euro, of course that would be an issue. But the already mentioned safety mechanisms with the automatic auctions and things like that ensure that the system stays 1 by 1. And even if you give out bad collateral, or if you use a bad collateral for handing out a loan, the NDEPS holders bear the risk to kind of to ensure the pack, right? So if the protocol loses money because of a bad loan, the NDEPS holders, so the shareholders of the protocol, bear the risk, but also, of course, they have the upside with the profits that the protocol generates.
Hey, you mentioned NDEPS. Just full disclosure for everybody. I mean, Cake Wallet is a holder of the NDEPS governance token. So just wanted to get that out there. We put our money where our mouth is. We believe in the products we put into Cake Wallet, and so we become a holder of NDEPS. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, and I mean, on the topic of NDEPS, the next question here is from Professor Morty. And how does the token work in dEURO's ecosystem, and what control do holders have over decisions?
So as mentioned, it's a third pillar in this whole dEURO protocol ecosystem. It kind of, so if something needs to be changed, or if anybody wants to change something in the dEURO protocol, they can kind of ask for it. For example, if you want to have a new collateral in the dEURO protocol, there is a process where you can kind of set up all the different factors, and then there is an automated process where if no of the NDEPS holders kind of veto against this idea, it will get activated. Okay, so there is nothing like a voting or anything like that. So if somebody kind of asks for something and nobody gives his veto, it goes live. So
let's jump in here. We have already running one of these, and at the moment you can veto against a new bridge for a euro stablecoin called dEURO, and it's running, I think. Oh, it's short to close. Obviously, it could be closed already, but this is one of these votings Ollie talked about. It is, I think it's running not only 20 minutes, but if you didn't vote against it, we will have very short a new bridge to a new euro stablecoin, and this is something we can also highlight because we never stop to work to evolve the dEURO ecosystem. And yeah, and NDApps holders obviously can vote on these things too.
So one more thing to mention here. So normally, or not normally, you need 2% of the NDApps tokens in order to be able to vote, right? That's just to ensure that really only people who are really in favor of the protocol and bought into the NDApps kind of can veto against and not kind of stop the movement, right? So that is just to ensure that, but everybody with 2% of the NDApps tokens has the right to veto against new ideas. I can't hear you, Henry.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have this YouTube comment, and I would love for someone to finally let me know how to pronounce their name, because I see them on Twitter a lot.
Underhausen.
Underhausen.
Thank you.
Good friend of Kick Wallet.
Yeah, they post good stuff on Twitter. Do people living in the EU have to fear using or holding dEURO?
Yeah, so I think he or she refers to MiCA, the MiCA regulation that is a big topic in Europe, right? So kind of regulation where the European Union wants kind of regulate cryptocurrency. And one thing here is the issuing of stablecoins. So normally, if you want to issue a stablecoin, essentially emitted stablecoin, so like something like the euro version from Tether, EURC, they need to comply with the MiCA regulations. And when the European Union set up the MiCA regulation, it was very important for them to regulate centrally emitted cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. The dEURO itself is decentralized, so it is not affected by MiCA and therefore is a MiCA compliant euro stablecoin. And that's also something that is very important. The only stablecoin in Europe that has interest in it, because normally it is forbidden for the other euro stablecoins to kind of provide interest. So that is something very important. And no, you do not have to fear using the euros in Europe.
I mean,
I'm not a lawyer, right? But that's what they told us.
We can also add the governance mostly don't know your wallet address. So yeah, if you don't tell them what are your wallets, they can't.
That also changes. So that changes.
Yeah, of course. They want to know, but yes, if you don't tell them, it's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing that would be fine in Europe, but that's something else. But maybe also something that is mentioned worth to mention here. So you can already use euro for buying your groceries. As you maybe saw in the news, there's this big Swiss, or not, it's not a Swiss merchant supermarket in Switzerland. Is called Spar. They now offer buying their groceries with cryptocurrencies. You can also do that with Monero, for example. There's also something the DFX team initiated in Switzerland. It's already in more than 100 of those supermarkets/merchants. in Switzerland, well, where you can go and buy with your interest you gain on your euros, your daily groceries, which is, to be honest, super cool. I really like that. I really like to use it. You can use your Cake wallet to do so. So yeah, it's awesome, and there will be more companies accepting cryptocurrency payments, not just in Switzerland, but also in all the rest of Europe, and maybe soon also in the US. That's something we're currently checking, and that would be also a big bang, to be honest, because the merchant itself, they only get in touch with crypto if they want, so they can get the asset they got paid one to one in their wallet, but they can also get the fiat amount in their bank account the day after. So that is something super cool for them. They really like to just give a new payment option to their customers, but only get in touch with crypto if they want. And yeah, people already heavily use it, already also using Monero to buy in Switzerland. So that's super cool to see.
Yeah, and then we have Seth in. Oh, that makes everyone a bit smaller there. Seth
hey,
from
Seth.
Cake Wallet.
That's okay. For Seth, I'll make place. Hey, Seth.
Hey guys, so sorry I'm late. My
No worries.
my space went over by 40 minutes, so it's a little
Should be a
stuck,
good-
but I got to show
was a good
privacy
one, I
to
guess.
10,000 people, so you know I gotta take those chances.
That's okay.
Yeah, and you're
Nice to have you here, Sam.
You're going to be
Good to
around
see
for
you.
good privacy questions. So
I'm glad you came on, Seth, because I gotta leave in 17 minutes. So
Tag out.
yeah. All right.
Well, just to quickly touch on this conveyor, I feel like, at least on my end, they did a good job touching on the differences between dEURO and other euro-based stablecoins, especially when it comes to the decentralized nature. So just to make sure we also cover other questions here, we have one from Mula Arsad. For someone already using Cake Wallet with Monero or Bitcoin, what's the simplest way to start minting or earning with dEURO?
Yeah, so it really depends. So soon, as we already discussed, we will work on the integration of the lending part natively into Cake Wallet. That's something that we're working on. But for minting, I think the easiest is to go to dEURO.com, start the web app, connect with your Web3 wallet of choice, be it MetaMask or Ruby, deposit the collateral into the lending and take out a loan. I think that's the easiest way. The more and the most easy way will come soon with Cake Wallet.
And it also asks about if you just want to earn, you can always convert your Bitcoin or Monero right within Cake Wallet to dEURO, and then stick that dEURO in the savings and start earning your 10%. And you can do that all within Cake Wallet as well.
Yeah, sure.
And then Panda asks, since it's over collateralized, what type of assets are currently accepted as collateral?
Okay,
Are you planning
give
to
me a second. I will open it to not forget anything. So what we currently have is Wrapped Bitcoin, Ethereum. You could use, for example, USDC. We have Uniswap, we have Tether Gold, we have Coinbase Wrapped Bitcoin, Kraken Wrapped Bitcoin, Liquid Staked Ethereum, and Frankencoin. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different collateral. But as mentioned, if you have another collateral that you would like to get a loan against, just join our community on Telegram, start chatting with the community if they like this asset as collateral. I think there are a lot of other interesting collaterals out there that could be added. Just jump into the Telegram community, ask the community if they like it, and then this process is initiated in a smart contract, and if nobody vetoes against it, you can use that asset as collateral and take out a loan in dEURO against it.
Let's see here. Yeah, I guess this is just going to touch on Cake Wallet's approach versus custodial solutions.
Yeah, so the first thing is you do not need to leave Web3. I think that's a big plus. You do not leave. You do not have to leave Cake Wallet. You can simply use Cake Wallet to do it. Traditional custodial solutions, the same with the centrally emitted stablecoins. You need to trust. You need to trust the bank you have your money in. You need to trust the company you give your assets. So in this case, you always can ensure yourself that everything is backed directly on the blockchain. And I think that's the biggest plus you can have. Yeah.
And Cake is just accessing the smart contract. I mean, it's reading from the smart contract. It's not
Yeah.
it's nothing inside Cake. It's all Web3.
Yeah, it's also super easy for other wallets to be integrated. I think also Konstantin will be on this live today. The one of the techs working for Cake Wallet, also part of the dEURO association team. It was not a big job to integrate it. So yeah, it's easy to
He had
use.
some hot takes that it only takes 1 day or less, even less.
Yeah, for Konstantin.
We have a few questions here that we've covered pretty much already in the stream. So like how does the yield generation work? So that's something we've touched on earlier.
Yeah, we also maybe to add here, Josh will also could you please post the YouTube link to the small explainer in the YouTube and X comments. I think that's also helpful, that just visualize in a 1-minute video how everything works together. I explained it, but maybe pictures help in better understanding how the processes are and how everything is combined.
The link is in the comments on YouTube now and coming up shortly on X.
Awesome.
But we also had some postings about it in the past. So if you can't wait, you can scroll through the dEURO postings and you will find it too.
Can I try answering one? I might be wrong.
Yeah, go for it, Henry.
So feel free to correct me. Do dEURO transactions require a Monero balance? I believe to at least enter the savings, you're going to need an Ethereum balance, not Monero.
Yeah, that's right.
I know this because I set up the dEURO savings, and so that's my answer. But you guys know more than me, so that's just my normie response here.
No, that's awesome and totally right. So of course you need an Ethereum wallet and you need Ethereum for the transaction fees. So yes, you need some ETH here, and of course dEUROs if you wanna do that. You can exchange whatever cryptocurrency you would like directly within Cake Wallet into dEURO and start earning directly.
Yeah, I was able to swap directly from Monero into dEURO, but then I also had to get extra Ethereum because I didn't have any Ethereum. So it was a bit of a learning process for me to get involved with Ethereum in any way.
You did it, Henry.
I did it. This next question is for Seth, probably. Cake Wallet now integrates Tor at the network level. How does using dEURO through Cake Wallet benefit from this added privacy feature?
Yeah, it's a good question. There's not going to be many differences because, I mean, to still interact with dEURO, you're going to have to publish a transaction on Ethereum. Like, that's just a necessity of how this decentralization works. So it doesn't necessarily provide better privacy to the actual transactions you're making, but what it does do is it provides better privacy at a network level for your wallet when you're making those transactions. Because obviously when you're going to make those transactions in Ethereum, when you're making the swap, those things require a network connection to a third-party node or to a third-party swap provider. So doing those over Tor, especially if you're coming from something like Monero, if you have a stack of funds that aren't KYC'd, you want to remain anonymous as best as possible, Tor is a really good tool for that so that you can keep the network portion of privacy safe and then worry about the on-chain privacy in different ways. So it's definitely still important. It's not like a make or break thing. And I will just caveat, as always, using Tor is going to just cause some edge cases and slowness just because of the way that the Tor network works, because of the way that it provides privacy. But it's a really powerful tool to gain better network level privacy when you're using dEURO.
Yeah, and I guess just an additional question from Alpha Crypto Wave, does dEURO protect user privacy any different from other stablecoins, or is it going to be fairly similar?
Yeah, so if you you can use the dEURO protocol without having the permission from a bank to have an account or anything like that. So it is really open for everybody. So I would really call it's the first bank with a euro balance where you do not need any kind of verification to use it. I think that's a big plus, not just for us in the Western world, but we also get a lot of feedback from other countries in the world, especially from Africa and Asia. They normally do not have a chance to get in touch with euro and hold euro. So that is also something, of course, not privacy, also privacy, but also accessibility. And that's a big plus. But also there are possibilities coming up for the Ethereum blockchain where you kind of go into more privacy mode. Railgun is a project that comes to my mind here. Also something we have on the radar. Of course, it is not Monero, but it kind of enhances the privacy experience with handling topics on the Ethereum network.
I mean, what we can really highlight here is dEURO is decentral, and nobody can freeze your tokens like we already see on Tether or on USDC. So this can't happen with dEURO because there is no one who can take care of it. No one can freeze your funds on dEURO.
Yeah, maybe to frame that a little bit more. So you always have those news popping up. Tether froze 10 million, Tether froze again, whatever, without a council or anybody judging about it, right? If it's right or wrong. With the dEURO protocol, you are unfreezable. And yeah, that's also a big plus here.
Yeah, I will just add a little bit more. I will just say it's important here to think about dEURO not as a privacy tool, but as a tool that enables access to dEURO, to euros, like you mentioned, even if you're not a EU citizen. Plus, it's a good tool for pseudonymity. So Ethereum does not provide anonymity or privacy by default, but it does provide pseudonymity. So you could do this without actually having your personal ID linked to these funds. So it is still an improvement overall in privacy, but it should really be thought of more as like an aid to pseudonymity and not privacy natively. But I am really interested if something like integration into Railgun is an option. That's something we're looking into at Cake Wallet as well. So there will be long-term privacy tools with dEURO, I'm sure. But for now, it shouldn't be viewed as a privacy tool on its own.
Sorry, guys, my browser freaked out, and then I had to refresh the page. So here's another good question here. Long term, do you see dEURO evolving into something more than a stablecoin, maybe a backbone for Euro-based DeFi applications?
Yeah, so to be honest, I think the future is decentralized. I really think that only decentralized topics will win in the end. I think with dEURO, we are in the very forefront of that. Of course, time will tell if people really like the decentralized aspect of the stablecoin. And I think dEURO can be the backbone for Euro DeFi. Yeah.
Let's say we are working on it because we have already partnerships with, let's mention Cashlink. They can tokenize whatever. If you have some gold in your bank accounts or something like this, it must be a bigger portion of this need, but they can tokenize it, or they even can tokenize your real estate. And then you can come with these tokenized assets on Ethereum, obviously, to us, to dEURO, and go to the governance and ask them if they would accept this asset to get the loan on in dEUROs. And if this get accepted by the NDApps holders, you can always get your dEURO loan on assets you have on your bank account or on in your bank, whatever tokens used or whatever. But you always have, if you have liquidity gaps, you can go to us, to the dEURO protocol, get your dEURO loan, and you don't have these problems anymore.
Yeah, normally it's kind of a pain to get short-term loans as an entrepreneur or as a company or whatsoever. with your you have loans without asking permission from anybody. You just go to the protocol and put in the collateral and take the loan. But also that's something Josh just mentioned. We're working together with tokenization companies. Cashlink is one of them, where you, from the idea, could also put your company shares as a collateral and take a loan against it, which is super interesting, right? Because then you kind of have this short liquidity possibility without asking permission, really fast accessible. So I think that that's also a big use case for dEURO, and more to come.
Hey guys, I got to run, but really thanks to both of you for coming on. This is great, and I hope we keep expanding our dEURO base as well as offering, especially the next one. Hopefully, should be borrowing. So
Pleasure as
thanks
always.
It's a pleasure.
thanks to everyone else for listening in. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Vic.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Talk soon.
We lost Seth also.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, Seth. There's Seth. I
I got bamboozled.
was going to say this is a good one for Seth actually, and then Seth gone.
Just in time.
John Cena asks, what security features does dEURO's protocol offer to ensure trust in self-custody? How does the Cake Wallet partnership address wallet integration risks?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll focus on the Cake Wallet one. I can throw the dEURO protocol one over to y'all. But on the Cake Wallet side, I mean, the beautiful thing here is this is a very simple integration under the hood. It's just a few simple smart contract calls. The weight of the work here is in the smart contract. It's not on the Cake Wallet side. So really the critical things for us were not security focused, but rather user experience focused, and trying to make it something that's user friendly and nice to look at. But on the security side, all that's really done in the smart contract, and then in the basic Ethereum functionality in Cake Wallet, which we've had Ethereum for years, and it's a very well trusted, good implementation. So I'm not concerned on that side. Obviously, it's something we're always thinking about and trying to find ways to improve on. But the beautiful thing about this is the security actually lies in the smart contract on Ethereum, not really on our side beyond just the simple aspect of self-custody in the Ethereum wallet.
Yeah. So maybe to add here, you have access with your self-custody wallet. Of course, if you interact with the smart contract, you always need to trust the smart contract. But that was, as I mentioned, ensured to the highest level possible by setting up the smart contracts like they are. Also, again, highlighting Oracle free. So no need to trust oracles as well. So it's really 100% decentralized, and also audited by known audit companies. So yeah.
This is a question I was curious about too, actually, and I don't know the answer to it. Are there any limits on how much dEURO you can mint or hold in Cake Wallet, or is it completely permissionless?
So you can hold as many dEURO as you want. When it comes to minting, of course, there are limits. If you kind of ask for a new collateral, then there are always kind of barriers that ensures that the protocol will not collapse. So you can, for example, if you want to open a new position, you can ask for a maximum lending amount of €1, and then it is maxed up to that position. That again ensures the safetiness of the whole protocol. But in theory, there is no limitation, and I'm pretty sure in the future there will be positions with, I don't know, 8-9 figures that can be lent out. But of course, it needs to grow. It needs to be always in alignment with the security of the protocol. That is the highest importance here. So security, but as I said, so you as a user can ask for it. If nobody with 2% of the NDAPS tokens veto against it, it goes live. So you can now go to the dEURO protocol and tell the protocol, I want to deposit 10,000 Bitcoins and kind of want to lend out 100 million. and nobody votes against it, it's live. So yeah, no limitations.
I'll handle this one quickly. I've already alluded to it, but yeah, you should be able to swap directly from Bitcoin, Monero, pretty much any other currency in Cake Wallet directly to dEURO. You just have to make sure you also have Ethereum in the wallet, and if you want to do the savings module. But I was able to do this.
I need to add something. I had at the beginning, I wanted to try to swap also in the Cake wallet, but I swapped a too small amount, and this didn't go through there. So you can't swap any amount, but it is, I think, at least you need to swap $50 or something like this. So it's very small.
And just as we're talking, another 103 euros and 88 cents were deposited in the dEURO protocol using Cake Wallet. So if you want to have the ticker, you can also join the dEURO Telegram group where you can always get notifications about it.
StreamYard got messed up and things are a little out of order, so I'm looking for another good question here. Here we go. From Panda, right now yield comes from borrower fees. Are you considering additional revenue streams in the future to keep APR stable?
No, so nothing that is decided yet. I think there always needs to be kind of a wager, is it wager? I'm not sure, with lending and savings. Of course, they always need to be in balance, right? It's not good for the protocol if you only have lenders and nobody wants to save, or if you only have savers. Then of course, if we would have too much savers and nobody wants to lend out the euros, of course, could be in theory the possibility that the 10% APR drops or anything like that. But we really have, in our opinion, the 10% are very well balanced here, and it should be a long-term interest rate that the protocol can provide to the users. So I think it is enough. The more complicated you make such smart contracts, the more risky it is again. So I think those two factors alone is sustainable for the stablecoin. So no really need to add new revenue streams. I'm pretty sure others will kind of start to use dEURO to build something. One of those things is, for example, other wallets or whatsoever, they use the dEURO and the yield generated, but the dEURO protocol itself is sustainable like it is. No need to add something super special or fancy or whatsoever.
This is a good question for Seth here. I know it's a bit off topic maybe, but thoughts on Samurai Trade Ogre and the future of no KYC exchanges and user privacy?
Yeah, it's a good question. I will just kind of caveat with the fact that we don't really know what's going on with Trade Ogre. Like, as far as we know, there isn't a government shutdown or something. Last I checked, no one had seen funds moving from known wallets, so it could just be an uptime thing. Trade Ogre has always been a bit weird in that they just kind of do their thing quietly and go about their business. So it's not like they have some huge PR firm that's going to be putting out press releases about them having downtime or something like that. So we'll see with Trade Ogre. I don't want to jump to conclusions that it's something legal happening, but on the Samurai front, I think it's easy to get ahead of ourselves looking at what's happened there and try to apply it to lots of other things. I think the silver lining, and it's horrible to say silver lining about someone going to jail, but the silver lining about the specifics of them doing a plea deal instead of it going to trial is that if they had gotten a conviction in a trial by jury, that would set a legal precedent that could have a much broader harm on the industry and could be much more harmful to no KYC exchanges, to other people building privacy tech. There are still some potential issues coming out of the plea deal that could affect the industry, but they're much more minor. So it's something where I don't think we need to overestimate the harm this is going to cause up front, but start thinking about it. Obviously, stay aware, keep pushing, obviously, for this sentence to be dropped or them to be pardoned if the plea deal and everything continues. But definitely something to keep an eye on. And disheartening that even in what seems like a relatively pro-crypto environment in the US, developers of privacy tools can still go to jail. So definitely sad.
Yeah, and I just wanted to just quickly mention, so we're using StreamYard behind the scenes right now, and I am seeing some comments on particularly X/Twitter that just never even showed up on StreamYard. So just sending apologies to some people. I'm going to try to just list off a couple questions, but it literally doesn't show up in our little sidebar here in StreamYard, so I'm just going to have to say them. Like one is from John Wick. What is the long-term vision of dEURO for integrating the dEURO stablecoin into real-world financial? EURA.
Yeah, one topic I already mentioned, so the possibility to use your dEUROs and pay in everyday life for whatever you need. So be it in a supermarket, you already can do that with the Spar supermarkets in Switzerland. More than 100 locations are live already. We as DFX will also be a sponsor of a bigger festival taking place at the Swabian Sea in the south of Germany, on the Swiss side, where we will have a lot of the food trucks kind of enabled to receive payments in cryptocurrencies. So there will be more and more merchants and supermarkets and companies coming up, because they really like the idea, not to, on the one hand, to provide a new cool payment possibility for the customers, but also on the other side, do not throw high fees to the Visas, to the MasterCards out there, talking about 2 to 5% whatsoever, which are a pretty big portion of the things they earn. So that is one thing. Then of course we want to have the dEURO integrated and as many decentralized or self-custody wallets out there. Cake is one of them. Of course, we're more than happy to have Cake here, but dEURO should be for everybody. I already mentioned that we're super stoked to provide access to dEURO for the whole world. So you do not need to have a bank account to get your hands on euro, work with euro, let euros work for you. So that is something we really want to focus on. We already are, so we are already on centralized exchanges with xt.com, also others that will come up, but that is not our main goal. Of course, I think they will come and use it because they can earn with the dEURO protocol by just integrating it. But the real focus currently is on having dEURO in as many self-custody wallets as possible, so that everybody can have access to euro and use it.
Great, and then last question here, and then we're gonna start saying goodbye. It's a really simple one. Is there a calculator to calculate the interest generated?
Not yet. You can do it on your own. So it's 10% APR. So take 10% of everything you put in and divide it by 365, and you have your daily income. So that is possible. It's a good feature. Maybe we should add it to the dEURO website, and maybe also to Cake Wallet. We will take that with us and discuss it. I think that's also something interesting for everybody. But yeah, that's a good idea, good feature, which I will take that into consideration.
Great, yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate you two coming on, and I've learned a lot myself from this, because dEURO is something I'm still getting used to as well. I come from a privacy/Monero background, and so this is all a bit new to me. And I really want to thank Seth as well for hopping on. And then, do you guys want to maybe talk about how you want to handle the giveaway before we?
Sure. Since we had some comments left on X, I will go through all of them, put all the usernames I find on YouTube and on X, and throw them into the raffle. We will have 10 winners who can win 50 dEUROs, and I will write them on probably X, or I can write on YouTube too. That's I'm for sure.
You can leave a comment there, yeah.
Yeah.
So we will transparently communicate it.
Yeah, I will 100% make a video of the raffle, so you have 100% transparency, like we always handle things. But obviously, I need to make sure I have all of you guys covered, so this is a fair way to handle this.
And maybe we should also just add the transaction IDs where we send out the 10 times 50 dEURO, so everybody can check themselves. As you know, dEURO is decentralized and readable on a blockchain. We should keep it also with giveaways like that. So, yeah.
And we will obviously post it on our X account, so you don't miss it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, also from our side, thank you so much for having us. We're a big fan of Cake Wallet for a long time, super close connections to the team, and we're super happy that this kind of trust came to the dEURO idea right from the beginning. Very looking forward to integrate the other features of dEURO into Cake Wallet. And if you or if anybody has questions, you can of course reach out to Henry, Seth, or the Cake team, but you can also join our socials or Telegram group. Just post it there. Somebody from the community is always there to answer them. If you work with Telegram, please ensure to not answer private messages. They're always scammed. Avoid them. Let the chat in the community.
As well.
Yeah.
And on WhatsApp, we saw some Reddit posts recently from people who got scammed on WhatsApp, and they're like, "You guys are scammers," and it's like, we don't even have a WhatsApp. So
yeah,
please watch out for scammers out there, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. It was a pleasure, and thank you for all these good questions about dEURO, so we could answer them hopefully. And yeah, let's go forward.
Great. Thanks, guys, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks,
Have a nice day.